Today I'm talking to Sabrina Braunlich from Whale and Dolphin Conservation, and they are the leading charity dedicated to the protection of whales and dolphins. Hi, Ms. Braunlich. Happy National Dolphin Day.
Happy National Dolphin Day to you too.
Can you tell us some cool facts about dolphins?
Yes, of course. So I absolutely love dolphins. I'm very fortunate to have seen dolphins in the wild, which is very cool. So WDC is based in Massachusetts, if you've been here. So we have the ocean pretty much a 10-minute walk from our office even. But worldwide, there are currently about 42 different species of dolphins and 7 species of porpoises. In addition, do you know what the largest dolphin species is?
No.
No, it's actually an orca. Orcas are considered dolphins. And it's a little weird because they are whales. However, not all whales are dolphins. So the orca is the biggest dolphin species. In addition, dolphins are mammals, just like you and I. So they have to breathe. They have to come up to the surface to breathe. They're warm-blooded. And they give birth to live young, just like humans.
Cool. Do they really talk?
Yes, some are very chatty animals. They really share kind of quite an array of vocalizations, such as clicks and whistles and squeals, which really they use for their well-developed communication and echolocation between themselves. Some dolphin species even have unique whistles for themselves. And it's almost kind of like a nickname where they give themselves a whistle and then all of a sudden the scientists have heard it before in relation with that individual. So they give each other nicknames if they really want to.
Where can you find dolphins?
That's a great question. So dolphins really pretty much live in all of our world's seas and oceans, and some of them even live in rivers too. Did you know that dolphins can live in rivers?
Yeah.
The Amazon River dolphin is a pretty famous one. It's pink, and as are oceans, so some dolphin species like coastal areas, like our spinner dolphins, while others like kind of shallow areas. And even some like really deep waters, like a pilot whale, which technically is a toothed whale, but similar to kind of that group of dolphins.
Cool. How is climate change affecting dolphins?
That's a great question and something that's really, really important right now, especially since we're seeing climate change really starting to play a, unfortunately, a life in the lives of these dolphin species. So as our ocean is getting warmer, it's causing the dolphins' food to shift and move to different locations. Sometimes that's causing the dolphins to then move as well because they need the food, obviously. And that causes the habitat to interact with humans sometimes more often. So for example, if the food is shifting more into an area where there's a lot of boats or vessels, then that might cause a lot of issues with like vessel strikes or entanglements or something. So it's definitely a big problem when it comes to the dolphins and a threat for them.
Yeah, if they move, they can either move to one very serious problem, which is pipelines. Maybe those can bust and they can infect dolphins.
Yeah, or harm their food too, which is not good. If they eat fish that is now poisonous, then that can harm the dolphins as well. Yeah, good point.
The ocean gives us at least half of our oxygen. Influences our weather, shapes the earth, and regulates our climate. How can we protect oceans to save dolphins?
Yeah, the oceans are so important, not only for dolphins, but for us humans too. Dolphins actually play a big role in the oceans as well. And it is because of their poop, ultimately. So whales and dolphins play an important role because their poop helps to fertilize phytoplankton. Do you know what phytoplankton is?
No.
Yeah, so phytoplankton is little kind of water plants that float at the surface of our ocean. And what those water plants do is that they obviously, just like our plants on land, they need sunlight and they help to give off oxygen and take in carbon, which is really harmful for our environment. But just like we put manure on our plants on land, the whales are the manure for those plants, for those phytoplankton. So basically, dolphins and whales come up to the surface to breathe. And since there's less water pressure at our ocean surface, that's where they go to the bathroom. So they have a little bathroom break at the ocean surface. It helps to fertilize that phytoplankton. And then that phytoplankton can help create oxygen for us. It helps to sustain fish stocks or keep our fish really healthy as well. So we love to see pooping whales and pooping dolphins as well. It's very, very fun to see.
Yeah, I heard that orcas are starting to go extinct. Or they're
Yeah.
not extinct, but starting to lose their population.
Yeah. So there's some species of orcas like the southern resident orcas that are over in the Pacific Northwest, where there's really not a whole bunch of them left. There's less than like 76 of them. And so it's really, really not great because whales and dolphins are really important, like I said, because of their poop. So
the oceans are a big mess right now. According to the United Nations, up to 12.7 million metric tons of plastic made its way into the ocean in just 1 year. This year, we have already had 2 ocean spills, including almost 12,000 barrels in Peru, where Pink River dolphins live. Noise from shipping, oil and gas drilling, military sonar, and marine construction all interfere with dolphin communication. Their ability to find food and stress levels which impacts their immune systems and ability to reproduce. How can we fix all this?
yeah, that's a really tough question because you really listed off a lot of threats there. But one of the best ways to kind of start by getting into these things and seeing how we can fix these is by just kind of educating yourself. What you're doing right now is a really, really cool option for people because you're learning about topics, you're talking to experts and scientists, and you're figuring out, hey, what's going on? Why is this important? Why should we protect whales and dolphins? And so by learning about the different species, learning about their threats and what could happen to them, how endangered they are and stuff, is then when you can start to then tell more people. So then when you talk to your aunt or your uncle or your best friend and you say, hey, did you know that whale poop is really important? Maybe that will encourage them to then do their own research and start to look into, hey, whales are really awesome. We need to protect whales too. So by educating yourself with really good resources and data to back it up as well, you're kind of like a little miniature scientist that's in training. And then eventually, as you get older, maybe that might be something that you'll want to do in your life. You'll say, hey, I want to work to protect whales as well. So there's a lot of really cool jobs out there where you can start to say, hey, I think oil spills are a big issue. Like, I want to look into science and see how we can stop this from happening. And so it'll lead to a really, really fun career paths. In addition, there's always ways for people to speak up. So if any age, if you can write to your elected official and say, hi, my name is Sabrina. I'm this many years old, and I think we should protect whales because they play a really important role. By using your voice and by voting, that's helping to then expand as well and tell other people that this is an issue that we should care about and that we should protect our oceans and protect our animals as well.
Yeah. And so if somebody tells one person, someone might get interested in that, and someone might tell another person, and it just goes on and on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm from Michigan, and so we really don't talk about the ocean nearly enough. But as I've been working at this job, more and more of my friends are starting to look into ways because they hear me talk and they're like, we need to protect our environment. What are ways that we can help? So one of my best friends actually just texted me and said, Sabrina, you encouraged me. I just bought biodegradable dog poop bags or something. Like, Another one was like, hey, I just got my first reusable straw. And it's like, yes, I'm telling my friend they're making an impact too. So just like dropping a stone in a river, the ripples are much bigger than you think about.
Yeah. One of the biggest global threats one of the biggest global threat dolphins face is bycatch.
Mhm.
What is this and how can we stop it?
Yeah, so bycatch is basically the accidental entanglement of whales and dolphins. So basically, fishermen will be out trying to catch fish, and then whales and dolphins accidentally get entangled in the lines. So it's not good because it's really, really harmful. It causes sometimes some whales can get stuck and maybe they lose part of a tail or part of their arm or something. And sometimes it even causes them to die as well. So it definitely is a really big issue and one that WDC is working on a lot. We're actually trying to figure out ways that we can help lessen the amount of rope that's in the water because that rope is what can cause entanglements. And so, for example, here we have a big lobster industry. So people like to eat lobster, but unfortunately that lobster kept fishing has a lot of rope that's in the water. So whales come through and they get entangled. Not good for the whale. And so again, one of the best ways that you can work to help stop this is to just start to learn, hey, why is bycatch an issue? And then seeing what are ways that I can help. So by looking to see, hey, the fish that I'm eating, how is it caught? NOAA is the big government agency that does a lot of work with ocean conservation, and they have a program that is like a dolphin safe certificate. So if you're seeing next time you're at the grocery store, maybe you look at the packaging of the fish, or maybe like tuna, and you see, does it have dolphin safe on it? Then you know that that's something that was caught that you know doesn't harm any marine life as well.
Yeah. Finally, what do you wish everyone knew about dolphins?
I love this question because dolphins are much more closer to humans than people think. And that's really because of how smart and their strong kind of social structure. So just like you might have a best friend or you have your family that you hang out with all the time, dolphins kind of have that same thing. So they live in a social hierarchy, like for orcas that we were talking about. Actually, in the pod, the grandmother is the one that's in charge. The grandmother is the oldest. She has the most knowledge. So she's the one that guides the pod. Hey, we got to go fishing here. This is a good spot. And you trust it because the grandmother has lived 70, 80 years maybe as an orca. In addition, maybe the grandmother helps to babysit the little ones and stuff while the mom is catching food. And so these social structures is just so fascinating and something that people don't normally think about. Studies have shown that dolphins can remember one another. Maybe they remember meeting particular individuals, or like I said, they have special whistles for nicknames and stuff. They even have fashion trends. So there was a specific orca population that they saw all of a sudden they were wearing salmon as hat, like a fish on their head, and they were swimming around with it. And they're like, what's going on? Because this one orca just kept doing it. And then later on through the weeks, they noticed that other orcas were doing it. And they're like, is this in style? People just like wearing salmon hats. And then all of a sudden they stopped doing it. And so you just wonder what's going on under the ocean where everyone's like, guys, salmon hats are in like style. We got to wear some salmon hats today. They're so much more than an animal in the ocean than humans think. And there's something that we should continue to learn from and study and work to protect because they're absolutely incredible animals.
Yeah.
What's your favorite species of dolphin? Do you have one?
Probably the orca.
I think that's one of my favorite too. They're very, very cool.
Yes. Thanks so much for joining me today, Miss Braunlich. Click the link below to donate to whale and dolphin conservation, and remember, together kids can save the world. Please like and subscribe. Bye.